So based on the above all definitions and based on above classification, it is clear that the strength of material is all about stresses and deformation. Okay, so let us discuss about stress. Stress, when we apply force on any body, okay, for example, here is a rectangular body and we are applying force P on it, okay. So there will be internal resistance on any section, okay. So to resist this force P, there will be internal resistance offered by the body in opposite direction, okay. To resist this force, there will be internal resistance offered by body in opposite direction, okay. So that's why on a body, when external force, okay, when external force, it may be compressive or it may be tensile, okay. For example, we can apply tensile force, okay. So there will be internal resistance developed, okay. So we can say on a body, when external force is applied, it undergoes some deformation, okay. It will change its length, okay. For example, by we are compressing it, then it will change its size, okay. For example, original length was L1, second length, okay, after compressing it, maybe length L2. So this much portion, okay, this much length del L is reduced, okay. So there may be some deformation when we are applying external force on it. It undergo some deformation and internal resistance forces are set up, okay. So to prevent this deformation, the internal force will be developed inside the body, and that is called resistance force. So resistance force, we can say stress is equal to this resistance force R per unit cross-sectional area. It is called stress and it is denoted by sigma, okay. So sigma is equal to R upon A. R is a force, we can say P upon A, okay, because the resistance force R will be equal to applied force. That's why we can say P upon A, okay, or P over A. So here we can say when external force is applied, it undergoes some deformation and internal resistance offered are set up. Internal resisting forces are set up in the body, and this resistance to a force, see, it will be in cross-sectional area, okay. So in that area, the resistance force will be on every particle, okay, we can say. So the resistance force per unit cross-sectional area is called stress. Normally, the unit will be, the unit of force will be Newton, kilonewton, whatever, and area, meter square, mm square, okay, kilonewton per meter square, kilonewton per mm square, Newton per mm square, whatever, okay. So Newton per meter square, basically the unit of stress, okay. And in SI system, unit of stress is Pascal, okay. So Pascal is SI unit of stress. Pascal, 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. The quantity may be vector quantity, scalar quantity, or see, we have understood till now 2 types of quantity, okay. But the third type of quantity is tensor quantity, and the stress is such type of quantity, okay. So stress is tensor quantity. It is just higher order vector, okay. There are 2 words to understand: strength and stiffness, you know. Strength is the ability of a material to resist failure, okay. So it is resisting the failure, and Stiffness. So stiffness is the ability of a material to resist the deformation. Okay. So strength resist to failure and stiffness resist to the deformation. Okay. So we can say stiffness is equal to action upon deformation. Action over deformation. Stiffness is denoted by small k. Action, it is the force applied on any body, any material. So action will be the force applied, and upon deformation will be the strain, okay, or the volume decrease or increase after application of force, the length increase or decrease after application of the force. So we can understand the difference between strength and stiffness in this way. Remember, strength is the ability of a material to resist failure, and stiffness is the ability of a material to resist the deformation. Clear? So, as we discussed, stress sigma is equal to P over A is equal to resistance over area A. Okay, or we can say force per unit area. Okay, so here we have this equation, and the unit of stress. Normally stress is expressed in Newton per mm square, or expressed in kilonewton per meter square. Okay, 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. 1 Pascal per meter square. Okay, or we can convert it in megapascal. So 1 megapascal will become 1 Newton per mm square. Okay, so in this way you can convert these units. Also, we have understood that stress is a tensor quantity. Okay, so it is a higher order vector. Now, to understand stress very clearly, let us assume a body and external load applied on that body is equal to P. So axially loaded member here we are assuming to understand clearly. So at any section there will be resistance offered by that body will be C. Here the load, external load is equal to P, but resistance will be at every point. Okay, not only on this point. Resistance offered will be on every point in the cross sectional area. So we can assume the plan, okay, in the plan or the area cross section. So at every point there will be resistance offered by the body. Okay, in 3D we can understand in this way. At every point there will be resistance offered by the body. Okay, so that's why we are saying that resistance offered by area or cross sectional area will be equal to stress. Okay, again let us take another example. For example, there is a member subjected to tensile force on both side. Okay, and consider this member in two parts, part A and B, divided by XX section. Okay, the length of this member is let us take length is L. Now consider the part A in equilibrium. Okay, so we can say only this part. Okay, here it is under the action of load P. Okay, tensile load is acting on this part also. So here there will be resistance in this way. Okay, let us consider another portion, another part B in equilibrium. Then we can say this part is also under the action of tensile load P. So it will be only resist this force, okay, at this section. So that's why in this way we can understand the different parts, or at any section there will be internal resistance developed by the body. Okay, now there may be simple stress or compound stress. Okay, so what is simple stress? So we can say the state of stress is simple when the stress acts in one direction only. Okay, so the stress acts in one direction only. Okay, and there will be only one stress. Okay, while the compound stress, so two or more stresses acting simultaneously in different direction. Okay, so simple stress and compound stress, the difference is when the stress, or when one stress acts in one direction only, then it is called simple stress, and when two or more stresses are acting in different direction, then it is called compound stress. Okay, so this is the basic difference between, or these are the two states, these are two states of stress, two states. Now, after understanding stress, let us discuss what is strain. Strain is nothing but the deformation per unit dimension. Okay, so dimension may be length, area, volume. Okay, it may be anything. So we can say strain is equal to change in the length over original length. Okay, for example, there is a member which is subjected to compressive force P. So after applying this force, the length of this member is reduced. Okay, so the reduced length is, for example, this is the reduced length L1. Okay, but original length was L. So the reduced length is equal to L minus L1. So that reduced length means the delta L is the reduced length. Okay, total reduced length. So the compression from both sides, so it will be, the deformation will be on both sides. Okay, due to this, the reduced length will be delta L by 2. Here also it will be delta L by 2. Okay, so we can say the strain epsilon is equal to change in length delta L divided by original length. Original length was L. So this is the equation of strain. Here we can understand that delta L is also the length. Unit will be, for example, we can say unit is meter. L original length, the unit is meter. So both will be cancelled. So the strain will be unitless. So there is no any unit for strain. So we can say strain is unitless parameter. Okay, strain is unitless parameter. Now there may be tensile strain, compressive strain according to the stress. So if the stress is tensile stress, then corresponding strain will be tensile strain. Okay, if the stress is compressive, then corresponding strain will also be compressive strain. Okay, If the stress is shear stress, then the corresponding stress will also be shear strain. Okay.